Mr. Faizon Love, welcome to your first one-on-one camera interview with Comedy Hype. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Some bum ass comedian girl was telling me I've been on here several times. I've never been on there.
She might have been. We get the Vlad comparisons.
Oh, really?
Because how we shoot it.
You gonna be on Comedy High next week? I'm like, I've never been on Comedy High. That's why I was like, yeah, I'm glad you said that though. Yeah.
For sure. Man, like, I just have to go out the gate. You're known for someone that's been like outspoken. Like you're one of our outspoken comedians.
But comedy is outspoken though. If everybody sings the same song, then who's gonna be the trumpeter? You know what I'm saying? Like, if everybody's your culture is becoming too light in the ass. It's too soft because it's like the things that we were talking about, the things we live in a where cops kill niggas every day, so we gotta be walking around quiet. That's silly.
I never understood it in terms of for comedians because that's, to me, the profession is supposed to be. I'm allowed to say.
We have to walk on the edge.
Yeah.
We have to, because that's where the truth is, on the edge. We have to show you this is, I mean, not to hurt nobody, but it's the edge. And all this, we're all cookie cutter. We're all, fuck that shit. Nobody wants to be involved with that.
One of the most outspoken in terms of the craft was Paul Mooney.
Oh, Paul Mooney was just profound because of his views on race, and he would say it right to white folks' face, and they loved it because he was telling the truth.
Right.
So, he used to tell me, Faizon, you'll never stop working in Hollywood because they need a big black nigga in every movie. They need a big black movie in every movie. You gonna do it, nigga. But his truth was amazing.
Yeah.
So now we're everybody's turning into minstrel.
Why do you what was your reaction to his passing? Like,
I heard he was sick before, and I was checking, how's he doing. As long as he's out of pain, I'm a little different when it comes to death. I mean, especially if somebody's in pain. He did everything he was supposed to do on this earth, so it wasn't no time wasted. So there's nothing. Oh, if we get only.
yeah.
If you think about it, if you said, "Hey, I want Paul Mooney to come back right now," then you got to lose him again. We gonna go.
Right.
He went with a purpose.
Right.
He served a purpose.
Right.
Brilliant writer. Funny, like I said, he would always crack me up because, you the big. All white folks scared of you, then. They scared of your black ass. I love you at the same time. Oh my God. He that's what he was.
You remember that last conversation or interaction with him?
Our last one, no, I hadn't talked to him since we were in Harlem, and he was somehow how it's changed so much. The comics, just the change of the scenery in the grounds which comedy is brought up on.
Right.
Just what they're talking about, and just like just candy ass shit, like that's was basically it. I would talk more to David Banks. David Banks was also passed. Was Richard Pryor's right hand man, and but we would have we would talk all night. But yeah, Paul's is a giant.
One thing about a couple of things, like Paul was not. He was complex in a sense. Like he had different layers about himself.
Most great comics are. You guys are just used to the cookie cutter this soft ass shit. Like, hey, my pants look perfect, and this. There's no layers to these niggas.
Right.
You know, there's no layers. It's all perfect. It all looks good. I heard another comic say to another comic, man, they don't even look good. I was like, I never remember a comic saying that to another comic. They don't even look good.
Like physically.
Physically. Like, all comics are ugly.
That's.
Yes, yes. Eddie Murphy is ugly. You take away.
Okay.
Yes, I used to think Eddie Murphy. You take away, he's he's a bad motherfucker. His talent makes him so beautiful. But if you take all that shit away in the money, he's a big ugly nigga. He's an ugly little nigga. He's an ugly little black nigga. And that's somebody
For sure.
I'm like, that's Eddie Murphy.
Right.
But he's a little black ugly nigga.
In terms of with Paul, why do you think people were afraid to support him? Because
They wasn't afraid to support him.
celebrities.
No, see, you guys are getting it all wrong. You guys are equating fame, notoriety, and taking away his work.
Yeah.
Nobody, no. Paul, I always say pure cocaine is hard to take.
Mm.
So you guys can't take the pure cocaine. You need it broken down to an aspirin where you can just eat it. And it's, okay, I'm doing cocaine now. No. Paul served his purpose in many ways. I mean, writing and who he was. He's going to leave that legacy of him here. The guys that you guys are fucking with are not. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's like, I mean, like I said, Eddie Murphy special was in the 80s. In the 80s. Nobody's fucking with it now. It's that good. I can put it up there. It's that good. Right? Bill Cosby's special himself is that good. It's that good. You have to destroy that nigga because it's that good. Him just sitting in a chair talking.
Right.
You guys, who do you guys have? You got niggas, the same shoes. What the fuck?
I mean, it's definitely a different time because it's instant.
It's not even instant. It's like, if I said I was a pilot and flew an artificial plane, would I be a pilot?
An artificial plane?
Yeah.
No, you have to fly a plane, right?
Right. Me going on the internet and saying that's an artificial plane.
Right.
You get on that stage, you gotta say we come from the world of the stage.
Right.
The stage is where you're gonna get the real free feedback.
It's a pilot license.
Yes. Because you're gonna cut your teeth on that stage.
For sure.
So, oh yeah, I got 7 million likes. Okay, then they go out to the stage and
It crash.
yes.
I can't help but to kind of touch on Paul, kind of round that out. One thing about Paul, it was the sexuality conversation.
This thing.
Do you think that took away from his legacy? Did it help hinder it? How do you think that?
What do you mean with are you saying with Richard Pryor's son?
Well, that was a conversation. I think that confirmed what people were suspecting of Paul because he never.
No, it wasn't
came out.
suspecting. Richard Pryor called him Miss Thing.
Okay.
They knew. They knew. But Richard Pryor, listen to Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor said we couldn't get a deal or something like that, and Paul came over and sucked his dick. They knew.
Got you.
Richard Pryor gonna give it to you pure. I'm not playing. And Richard Pryor's not gonna chop it up. That's what he's gonna give it to you pure. Everybody knew who Paul was. Right. You guys are just finding out. But that didn't take nothing from who he was. You know, it's like, okay, I don't give a fuck.
Why do you think he feared to like just own it? Because we interviewed Rashawn Khan.
Who?
Rashawn Khan.
Yeah.
Prior as a bodyguard. We interviewed him, and he was just kind of saying that he felt that Paul should have kind of more used it as a, you know, especially now LGBTQ is like big.
Well, it's big now. There's a lot of rappers that are gay and not saying shit. There's a lot of people with the, you know, like, hey, I don't know why, I don't know that culture, but I know there's a lot of people hiding, and you know what I'm saying, and so I don't know why Paul, you know, I don't think he really hid. I don't think he really hid.
He just didn't. I guess for some people didn't own it. Didn't say, hey, this is what I am.
But is he supposed to say that to everybody? Hey, I'm gay, y'all. Hey. Because nobody else, the rappers won't do it. The actors won't. Did Rod Hudson do it?
Rod Hudson.
You don't even know who that is.
It sounds familiar, but who's that?
See, look up Rod Hudson. He didn't do it.
This is a comedian, or
no? He's an actor. Rod Hudson was like one of the biggest white actors in the world.
Okay, I'm seeing him right now.
They loved him. Yay. So I think Paul comes from that school. Like what I do in my home is what I do in my home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It used to be nobody's business because, you know, we come from, Hollywood is debauchery, cocaine, rock and roll. All this other fake shit people coming up with. Oh, Pierre was talking about that. He's looking at some girls' titties. It's Hollywood. Her titties is out. I'm going to do cocaine on her titties later on. The fuck you mean? Why are you looking at her titties? So, are you saying this is the new Hollywood is sterile? Okay, that's what it is. But don't tell me young motherfuckers is innocent when you just painting white people up as Indians. Are you fucking kidding me?
Do you think with him being a black man in Hollywood, he just was like? Because I remember Dolomite was.
So you think Paul Mooney's the only gay black man in Hollywood?
No. It's just more of like. It's just the curiosity of just.
And if you got to think about it now, a lot of the people that are coming out are women. A lot of the women are coming out. So I'm like, okay. Lee Daniels, good friend of mine, he been, like, this is who I am. But I don't think they brave like that.
Right.
Or I don't think they think, you know, I'm like, yo, y'all killing it. There's a gay black man on every series. If you watch Superman, if there's a black Superman, I guarantee you, you're going to be like, listen, I'm from Atlanta.
Kind of rolling out of Paul. I want to hit some points in your career.
Like, let me ask you a question. Why do you think I'm the most misunderstood guy?
I don't know if the most, you come from a different era, or you just have a different code within yourself.
I have a code, period.
Yeah.
How about that one? I really live by a code.
Is it one for yourself?
You have to have one for a code. I grew up in a neighborhood. We a set. I'm in Hollywood. It's like we live in it. You know, it's like I'm not supposed to be in Hollywood.
Right, but how do you think you're able to maintain?
Because I live by my code. I don't bend and I don't break. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to substitute something I tell my mother or my father, hey, they want me to do this. None of this shit we do is backbreaking or solving cancer, or we're entertainers.
Right.
So you should never feel, the fuck's wrong with you?
So I got a question with you being a person that's able to be true to yourself, still exist in Hollywood. What do you think Monique didn't do right?
No. Monique got bullied. You guys said she didn't do nothing right.
Well, I mean the fact that she's outspoken, but yet Hollywood.
She's a woman.
Turned her back on. Okay.
Hollywood, no. Hollywood didn't turn their back on her. Niggas turned their back on her. Let's get it straight. Hollywood don't even give a fuck about Monique. If you black in Hollywood, you already blackballed. You can't blackball niggas they don't give a fuck about. They don't give a fuck about you. Monique brought her business and aired it. And she's like, hey, and that's the only thing I said was like, you can't really do that. Like, this person, there's never been equal pay. They used to have a thing called favorite nations. When you do a film, everybody gets the same.
Right.
Nobody ever got the same. But they told everybody that.
Right.
This person was getting this person was getting this. Monique, we didn't take care of Monique. I mean, I spoke, I'm like, whatever, I don't think she should have made it about the other girl. I think she should have made it about herself. This is what the fuck I want. If you ain't give it to me, peace. But she didn't do anything wrong. She's like, it's her journey.
Right.
Nobody can speak for her journey.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's her journey.
Right.
So, her and daddy, whatever, it's her journey. They gotta do their journey. That, and it wasn't like she did that movie and they were going to offer her. She was going to be in Marvel. She got an Oscar. They was going to offer. Yeah, so there's a lot of people with Oscars. They ain't doing shit.
They're supposed to be opposed, like kind of a curse.
Yeah. So the only person that put it like this, Cuba Gooding got an Oscar. Jamie got an Oscar. Giselle's got 8 of them. Has it changed their lives? Really? Giselle was already rich when he got his Oscar. So I don't know. I don't think Monique was wrong, but she has to say something. I mean, but I wouldn't have put it. You giving the white bitch this? I would have been like, no. This is what I fucking want. If you don't want to give it to me, peace. I'm gonna go somewhere else. Fuck it.
Right. That was kind of more my like criticism of like I felt that we're so empowered now. At least our generation understands the power of technology. You can do a lot on your own.
You don't need it. Hollywood is over with. It's over with. They don't run shit. They write checks. Mm-hmm. You want a check? Okay. But guess what? So is Amazon.
Big checks.
Yeah, big checks.
I want to touch on one of your most notable roles is Big Work. What was going on in your life before that even happened? How was life for Faizon?
Probation and stand up, and it was really like, okay, how do I give a probation? How do I prove that I'm looking for work in this industry and working? So when Big Worm came up, I was like, hell yeah, it's an opportunity to work. It's an opportunity. And that's when I was really like, I went to this, I was like, damn, if I'm gonna do this acting shit, I'm gonna need an acting coach, whatever. Okay. So I go to this acting coach, and he gives me the scene to do, and he goes, he's looking at me funny. I was like, I stopped. I'm like, what the fuck I'm doing? He says, no, he basically said, why the fuck do you need my help? And I was like, this guy was notable. So I was like, are you telling me you don't want to help me? I couldn't figure it out. Are you fucking with me? He basically said, no, I think you're a natural, man. He thought it was going to be some bullshit, whatever. So I started to get into it more. Because I was like auditioning, I hated the audition. So I was like, so that made me get into it more. I would get into character. I would go up to the audition in character.
Okay.
In like I would go in there like this. And motherfuckers like, yeah. So that helped a lot.
Yeah. Was it like a desperate mode of like, you hear about this movie, it's like, I really need to get this?
No.
Yeah.
Never. We were doing Bebe's Kids. And I remember talking to Reggie Hudlin in Warrington. And they were like, hey, we about to do Eddie Murphy. I'm like, I'm a huge Eddie Murphy, you know. He said, we about to do Eddie Murphy Boomerang. I was like, Boomerang? What's up? I'm thinking it's like that, like, what's up?
Right.
Am I killing this Robin? Yeah, you doing good. Okay, cool. What's up with Boomerang? We good. So every time I'd be like, oh shit, a nigga can't be in Boomerang, but he can do this bullshit. But that's probably the only film I kept fucking with them on. But I ain't never felt like, I think that's when people say, this is gonna end my career, this is gonna make, all this shit is puzzles to a journey. This is all work. Because what's going on now is everybody wants to be famous, and especially now, there's no money in films. Okay, unless you own the motherfucker. If you own it, you can make some money. But as an actor, you just, okay. You're just in it. They may give you, you know, because, like I said, movies, we have the ancillary part, we have, you know, the residuals and all this other shit. That shit is gone. So you just do the film, do a buyout, and that's your shit. But, you know,
yeah. Speaking of, in terms of like money, Chris Tucker initially got paid like $10,000 for Friday.
Yeah.
And John Witherspoon, are you comfortable sharing what did Big Worm get for his time?
$2,500.
Was that like a big deal? At the
I got to say I'm working to the PR probation. I'm working. I pay my rent. I ain't out in the streets doing no bullshit.
Right.
And see, it wasn't about the money then, really.
Yeah.
Once you had the
I'm just like, geez, like looking back at it, it's like $2,500.
Yeah, you guys said that ain't shit
for an iconic character.
But it wasn't iconic when we did it.
Right. It's still kind of, but when you look back, you don't look back.
See, that's hindsight.
Okay.
Right now, if I told you, I'm gonna pay you, you know what? I'm gonna pay you $10,000 for this right here. Mm-hmm. Would you take it?
Yeah.
You would take it, right?
$10,000. Mm-hmm.
Now, what if I take this and blow this motherfucker up to 100 million? Would you be silly?
Would I be silly?
Yeah.
At the time, it was a good deal.
That's what you don't know where it's gonna go.
So you're not bitter about it?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. You can't be. You can't. How you gonna be bitter? Now, if I do it again,
right?
Like you're talking about Friday, the last Friday. Oh, no, I'm with it. You got a last check.
Yeah. Was there any reason why we stopped seeing Big Worm?
The money. Like they asked me to be in every Cubans. Asked me to be in it. Oh, you want to do a second Friday? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Then they wanted to give me scale plus double scale. So scale was $2,500, right?
Right.
So double scale was $5,000.
Right.
The day after I said no, I got called to do a film for Warner Brothers called Replacements, and they paid me $100,000. So like, see, I ain't crazy. And $100,000 back then to do 3 works, it was like, hell yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, all these numbers and shit these kids are hearing now, like, because they never really been into the shit with the, you know what I'm saying, like TV shows. I just TV shows pay buy houses.
Every week you get a check.
What? Every episode, every week, whatever. I mean, you know, when we were doing Parenthood, I think I was making $25,000 a week, but it's 26 episodes for one season.
What were you even buying?
I was scared to buy shit. No, first year I didn't. I was scared because I had a friend named Bobby McGee who saved up every one of his checks. I wonder if Bobby gonna be mad. Bobby McGee saved up the first and bought a house.
Okay.
Like, I want a house. He had lived in an apartment for so long. He said, "Fuck this, I'm buying a house." And he still lives in that house till today, in Hollywood Hills.
Okay.
TK Carter would laugh at me because I wouldn't cash the checks. I cashed one check, and I was driving around in my Monte Carlo with Dayton's on Dayton's. I come up to the set on my Dayton's, is, you know, and Chris Tucker hated riding that car. He said, "Niggas be shooting at us." I was like, "Nigga, just duck." So, it wasn't until I was like, "Yeah, you can't just be holding these checks, motherfucker. They have an expiration date on them and all this. So, and you gotta, you know, have tax shit." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "The fuck?" I was like, "Damn." So it's like, you gotta spend some of this money. That day was, I remember we went to this, I think we created bottle service that day.
Okay.
At the Century Club, because we was at the Century Club. We're like, "Bring all that shit over here. I gotta spend this money for tax reasons."
Now, do you ever think you would reconsider working back with the Friday franchise, or is it just?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Cube. Always a big fan of Cube. I think he's underrated on the stuff that he's done. DJ Poole is like my brother. He knows. He get anything from me. I've done other stuff with DJ Poole. Yeah, if Cube said, "Faizon, there's no money. I need you to do this," I would have to do it on GP.
Okay.
Because, you know, it was that character that really brought me into the game heavy.
Right.
Okay. Because I've been known at that point was Faizon Love from Bebe Kids and Def Jam. I did pilots and shit. We had did a movie called Fear of a Black Hat, which was the original CB4.
Okay.
But yeah, it was. There's no. I wish this nigga would ask me, but none of that. I've been a fan of Q. I know, you know, DJ Poole. I was a fan of DJ Poole first because he was a DJ with the DJ crew.
Right.
And I was a DJ. And,
now I respect that stance because there's criticism of Chris Tucker because Chris stepped away too from the franchise over money.
Yeah, but see,
and other things.
His thing, they were offering. Look, Chris turned down about $80 million. So I had to convince Chris to do Rush Hour.
Okay. What's the backstory to that?
He didn't know who Jackie Chan was. I don't know who Jackie Chan is, man. And we had a project that we wanted to do called Country or some shit. And Tracy, his manager at the time, had made a deal with Paramount, and he thought Tracy sold him out. This goddamn Tracy, man, he made this goddamn I was like, and Rush Hour came through Brett. He's like, "Man, you motherfuckers want me." I said, Chris, I remember sitting in the foyer of my house going, are you crazy? Fuck we do that other movie. This motherfucking movie here, Jackie Chan, I'm a big Bruce Lee fan.
Okay.
So I knew who Jackie Chan was.
Right.
I'm like, Jackie Chan is the shit. Man, that motherfucker, man, I'm speak English. I was like, Chris, trust me, that shit is gonna be brilliant. I'm telling you. You don't trust me. Oh man. So he has to have a meeting down there. He comes by the studio to pick me up to go over to where Brett and them are, and they're looking at clothes and shit.
Okay.
Cars, and Brett's like, Faizon, can you talk to me? Like, he wanted, Chris hired this guy named 5001. He does all the puffy suits to do his wardrobe for Rush Hour.
Okay.
I'm like, nigga, you can't wear that. You're a cop. Think of Eddie Murphy in 48 Hours. It's a look you gotta have. He says, nah, why can't you can't wear a puffy, a silver suit, nigga. You're not flashy. You're a cop. You're an undercover cop. He said, yeah. So I said, what about this? It was the suit. There was two suits on the rack. There's a brown one and a blue one. I said, what about this brown one? I'll wear the blue one. I'll wear the blue one. That's your suit. He wanted a Corvette. He wanted the studio to give him the Corvette after he did it, right?
The black Corvette?
No. The brand new Corvette. He wanted to drive that in the movie and thought the movie was going to give it to him afterwards. I said, you can't have you're a cop, nigga. Think of Eddie Murphy's car. It's a raggedy ass Nova. So I don't know how we got to it, but it came to the Corvette he had. I was like, you can have that because that could be passed down from your father, who was a cop, and you can be able to restore that. You can restore that. Okay. That could be your car. Okay. It's classy. It's, you know what I'm saying? And that's how we got to it. And talking him into that.
So, kind of just touching back on his position on Friday, do you agree with him like stepping away?
No, I mean,
because the fans, I think, feel some type of way about it because it's like he kind of owes that to the culture, like how your position is. That role helped push you to the forefront. It definitely did for Chris.
Definitely did.
So it shouldn't be.
They was throwing so much money at this dude, and I think it would have been dope for him to say, like, you ain't got to give me $20 million. Because every studio was giving him $20 million. He wouldn't do some movies. Like, I ain't doing that. Like, nigga. It's supposed to, Fish wrote a movie. You know Antoine Fisher? Mm-hmm. Is our good friend. The real Antoine Fisher. Okay. He wrote a movie at Universal that they wanted him to do. They were going to give him, like, back then, it was real money. It was like $30 million, something like that, to do the movie. He's like, nah, man, don't do that for me. I'm gonna do another Rush Hour. They come on, because once they did Rush Hour, and it was a hit, that's all he wanted to do. It was an easy combination.
Easy grab. Every few years, he go chill.
No script. Hey man, what are you doing? hey Chinese man. So, but I see what you're coming about. It'd have been dope to, as a business, he knows that money's going to go somewhere. Right. But they could have worked out something like, hey, we're going to, like I said, there's ownership. We don't have ownership in a lot of films. Like, there's one, the only time that I've got ownership was my good friend, it's like my brother, John Favreau. A movie called Made, and he gave me ownership of that film. With him, I own a piece of that film. Mm-hmm. So that never. You get to see, but you can see the difference. You definitely can. It's like and just the gesture alone, like whatever that the visuals and you own a piece of that.
So maybe Q could have been like, "Yo, get a percentage."
Yeah, but I don't know what kind of conversation they had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know, I don't know why he would just. I don't know. I mean,
A few more questions. To pivot on Mr. Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Now, a few years back, you were catching some heat because you were really like, he's not that funny.
I didn't say that.
Well, he's overhyped.
No, what I said was Dave Chappelle never made black people laugh. He's been around. But it wasn't until his TV show, in the second season, that Charlie Murphy was heavy penning.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you guys fell in love with Dave Chappelle. You know, Dave Chappelle had about, 17 specials?
It's a lot.
How many does Chris Rock have? How many does Bernie Mac have?
None.
How many does Richard Pryor have?
Four. Got a lot of albums.
How many does Eddie Murphy have?
2, right?
So, when did he become the greatest? Over 19 specials? Have Piers right here. Have you ever heard anybody say, "Man, I am not going on after Dave Chappelle. I'm not following him"?
No.
Ever. So I'm like, when is this great? And as a man, I love him because he's always been a nice guy, always been cool. Even now, he was like, "Man, Faizon," like his last special was dope as fuck.
Right, because your perspective changed.
Yes, I was like, that shit was it was dope. It was dope. He was saying some real shit, and I've been seeing those specials back in. I'm like, what? It was on. I didn't remember the niggas going, "Oh, we gotta go see Dave Chappelle." I didn't remember that. But when the what is it? What is it called?
Comedy Central.
Comedy Central show came, and Charlie was lacing him with that shit. But Charlie would call me, "Yo, man, we gonna do this shit, man. Yo, we got this shit about the blind supremacists. Yo, this nigga don't know he's what? He's black, nigga. He's black supremacist, nigga." I'm like, "Oh, that's gonna be funny." But I'm not saying that, but that's the shit y'all. But you guys are confusing that with comedy, stand up. Like, that second year is the one. If you look at what was that second year, but Chris Rock was always killing it. Always. From back then, from '92, when this nigga got on the Eddie Murphy special. He said he met a prostitute in Hollywood. She said, "I'd do anything for $150. He said, "Paint my house, bitch." Chris Rock has always had a voice. Right. Bernie Mac has always had a voice.
Right.
Where was Dave Chappelle? Chris Tucker, Tony Woods, a bad motherfucker. Huh? Don't forget Pierre. The great Pierre.
In terms of one of our greats, Bill Cosby was just denied parole. Now it's known that you out the gate defended him.
Yes.
Why do you feel he's not guilty?
Why do you feel he is? What evidence have you heard or saw that makes him guilty? Just tell me that, and I'll change right now. Right now on the spot. If you show me some evidence that Bill Cosby raped these women, I'm going to change right now. Mm-hmm. Right now.
I personally do not know.
You don't have any?
No.
So how can a person be in jail with no evidence?
I guess it's just more so of its
people saying
public opinion. Right.
But we always been rapists. Emmett Till was a rapist, right? That's why they killed him. He looked at that white woman, right? Or did he?
So they said.
No, that's what she said. Then she wrote a book saying, "I made all the bullshit up." Black men have always been called rapists. That's the first thing they do is to diminish a black man. They did it to Kobe. It was bullshit. It was bullshit. Mike Tyson ate a girl out for 8 hours, and she said he raped me. I don't even know how you can do that.
Pac got the same thing.
Pac got the same thing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they do to diminish a black man, because in their books we're rapists, but it's really the other way around. We've never held people captive and fucked their mother in front of the kids. So, if you look up how many black men have been accused of rape,
Right.
with that should be the first thing they did in the South when they, hey boy, you know they say you touched a girl down there, boy. Come get you out your mama's house. So I'm like, what did Mike Jackson? The dumbest thing I ever said to Chris. Michael Jackson wants you to come to the house. Like, nigga, ain't he fucking with kids up there? I'm not going up there. It's the dumbest thing I ever said to him. Michael Jackson wants to meet you. He wants you to come up to the house. I'm like, ain't he fucking kids up there? Nigga, he be hanging out with my kid. That's the dumbest thing I ever said. Not knowing, when I looked at the Michael Jackson case, I remember looking at him, and I remember him going to court, and he was late. And I was like, this nigga don't give a fuck. And that's when I said, nigga, I've been in court so many times. Nigga, if court started at 7:30, nigga, I'm there at 6. Looking like this is the right room, because you don't want to be late, because you know you're guilty. You know you're guilty. You want to be on the judge's best side, but when you ain't got nothing to prove, nigga, what? I'm dancing on top of the roof when I leave this motherfucker. That's how. And then they found him not guilty. I said, oh, I was wrong. I owe that man an apology.
Did you ever get to apologize?
No.
You regret it?
Yes. Yeah. I kind of tried to do it with the brothers. Because you ever met the Jacksons? Tito and Jermaine, they some real niggas. It ain't for play. They real black men, strong. You know, like, don't let one of them slap the shit out of you. Don D.C. Curry has a funny story. When he's on here, ask him about us in the backstage with the Jacksons, and I'm like, they some real.
What was the intention of, like, okay, so what you really were set on trying to apologize for turning down the offer to come hang out with him?
And just putting that jacket on him like everybody did. I Emmett Till him. I let him come to my home and say Michael Jackson's a creep. I without investigating it. It's a funny joke. Michael Jackson touching the booty. No. Yeah, no.
You had a bit about that? Or?
No, I mean, every comic had that bit. I didn't have the bit.
I got you.
But every comic, Michael Jackson, they used to call him Wacko, Jacko.
Right.
They made up these names. But if you look at the history of black men that make change in Hollywood, get murdered, or he's the rapist, there's always an asterisk. Bill Cosby?
Did it hurt you when you seen that mugshot?
Oh, Bill?
Yeah.
No, because I know how they treat black men. I know that's coming. They don't have to show you a mugshot. You know that, right? That's not
right. That was them trying to smudge it in a little bit more.
No, it's demoralizing. Look at your dad. Look at your dad. He's another nigger. Look at his hair.
Do you fear that he'll die in prison?
I don't want to get that phone call because I think.
Or do you think that's maybe their goal?
He's strong. The reason why they want him to say, because he's not charged for rape. You know that, right? It's for aggravated some bullshit. It's not rape.
Right.
You know that? It's aggravated something. But it ain't rape if you look at it.
Right.
They want him to
aggravated indecent assault.
Exactly. But they want him to take the rape charge and they'll let him out. He's like, fuck that. I'm staying 10 toes down. Because he covered in jail. They got him in jail. Niggas got him like, oh, we got you. Niggas in jail know, like, wait a minute. First of all, if he did rape, why you got him in general population? He supposed to be somewhere covered. He supposed to be in PC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you just got him in general cop. Oh, you want us to whoop on this man. So the inmates is figuring it out like, oh, okay, we got you, Mr. Cosby. Because we got a line to, get a line, get a line.
Yeah.
So that's how they doing us. It ain't nothing new, but because you think they'll kill a black man in public, step on his neck, that they won't do this?
For sure. They'll lie.
See, that's what I'm doing. Like, why, if you think they'll step on a black man's neck in public, choke him out to death, you think they won't do this? Like, people are like, oh, the system's right. Oh, the system is you gotta trust the system on this. Are you crazy? How you gonna trust the system on this?
Right. Last two questions. And I feel I'm just respecting your time, so I'm just hitting different points. Mr. Katt Williams. This has been an ongoing thing, and for a lot of times, like our viewers and people that are like pay attention to our platform, they start noticing there's like a lot of like competitiveness and like beefs within comedians and people. I don't think ever really.
It ain't no beef. It's just niggas.
Okay.
Niggas don't respect niggas. Okay. Period. I've never heard of Cat Stevens fighting Led Zeppelin or whatever the fuck. Or it's niggas. Well, same thing with the rap shit. Biggie and Pac in here. There's no reason why that should have went down.
Right.
But it's just nigga shit. Niggas, we are the device to our own demise too. And they sit back. Do you know any white pop star ever got shot at?
Not that I can call the time.
But now it's a part of the thing now. They shot at Britney Spears again. They shot at Justin Timberlake got shot at last week. That's cool now. But we have that in our mentality. Mm-hmm. So comics, a lot of them thrive on fame. And they think this is ladder of, if Catwoman saw who we really, Catwoman, they're calling nigga Catwoman just now. I'm so petty with it. But that was a good one, Catwoman. Catwoman. Oh, if Catwoman saw who he really is in this whole shit, I think he would chill the fuck out.
Right. Because he pulled a gun on you.
Yeah.
Did you what was going on in your head when he pulled?
My partner Otis took the motherfucker. Like, nigga, what are you doing? They had no bullets in it. Now just imagine if one of them would have popped that nigga. They would have looked at me.
Right.
So he's putting me in a situation to defend myself where he could die.
Right.
And he don't know. I'm like, nigga, ain't that kind of, what do you mean? Like Pierre talking about San Diego. I can't wait to take him to San Diego to off Imperial. I'm like, hey, come get him.
Now you and Katt, you guys are, well, I believe you're in your 50s now, right?
Yeah.
Katt is 49, so he's probably going to hit 50 fairly soon. Eventually, y'all can't carry this on to your
It's not like we're carrying it on. I'm carrying it on. It's like they got people, like I said, there was some girl in his group that said, hey, you want to come, your career's over or something. I'm like, what? They like to say that shit.
So it's more so like entourages beef.
Yeah, that, and then Katt was keeping it going too until he hooked up with somebody I knew, Suge Knight, and he didn't know. I'm like, nigga, what do you don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know.
Talking about what Katt running with Suge?
Yeah, he thought Suge was gonna beat me up. There was people at the Comedy Store that night. They'll tell you. It's like, no, nigga, that ain't how that shit work.
When the last time y'all seen each other?
It's been years. It's been years.
And are you like avoiding?
Avoiding.
This is a question.
Avoiding, like, hey, don't go down there and catch there. Look how I travel, man. If he came in here, if I walked out there right now, and him and his 45 goons were out there, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? But it'll be a bad day. It ain't gonna end right.
But I guess
it ain't gonna end right.
I want to help at least change the narrative, right? Katt could potentially watch this. What needs to happen for you to be like, dude, he's on some...
I'm already past that. I'm not gonna go find him and whoop his ass. I don't have to. Somebody, Vlad asked me if I got $1 million, would I fight Katt Williams? Why would I? Katt Williams can't beat up a 14-year-old. This 14-year-old, he smacked the 14-year-old, and the 14-year-old whooped his ass. Whooped his ass.
Yeah.
You think you can fuck with me? You better get up to an eight-year-old.
My thing is, well,
you said what can resolve it?
What if Katt?
It's resolved. It just don't talk shit in a safe place about me.
So if you see him, y'all solo, excuse me.
I'm always like, if I am with people, it's like, hey, yo, okay. But I don't have bodyguards and shit. I can't have bodyguards. All my friends are murderers. I got friends coming home from when we was in school. I can't get them in trouble. I haven't seen them since we were 16. Now they coming home. No. You gonna enjoy this. We're gonna go here. We're gonna eat here. Let me show you what I've been doing. If I get them in trouble and they gotta go back to jail, I fucked up. So we stay away from. So say that if Katt Williams come, man, y'all going out here. I got this.
So what you doing in that? If Katt was here, what would you do?
It's nothing. I'm not going. Hey guys, I gotta leave. He just better know where that line is, because it's gonna end bad.
Would you accept an apology from him?
He doesn't have to apologize. He just have to. Let me tell you something that Bernie Mac told me. Bernie Mac told me one time that you don't have to respect me, just don't disrespect me. And that's what it's all about. He likes to disrespect. But if Katt Williams, because I'm gonna tell you the truth, there's a cat there. I like Micah. Mm-hmm. Micah's a good dude. You can hang out with Micah. He's cool. We laugh, but then when he becomes Catwoman's, what that goes? It's a whole different thing. Now you playing games. Don't play games with me.
Yeah.
No. I'm not that guy. Send me my money. Run me my 50. Yeah.
You guys used to be cool?
We was, at one time, Katt Williams was so respectful. I mean, so respectful.
Yeah. I
mean, he said something to me that was out of pocket, and then Lena corrected him, and he came to me and was like, hey, brother, I'm so sorry. I didn't, but it was good. He was like, we worked on a film with Charlie, and we was, it's a Christmas movie that, at the time, Un was managing him. Un Rivera was a good friend of mine. He was very respectful, and then the thing came with the tour, and he just got disrespectful, and I was like, whoa. When he pulled the gun out, that pissed me off because it could have went so many ways. One of my partners could have went back to jail. They had a nigga right here that could have busted on him and then went him to jail. And then it's all fucked up. Now we talking about white folks. They fucking with us. Black Lives Matter. No, nigga. You pulled a gun, nigga. Don't do that. You put me in jeopardy. I gotta kill you now. I have no excuse but to murder you. But it all worked out. You know, he spent him Faizon snitching. Who the fuck did I tell? You on TMZ? I never went to TMZ, nigga. We went in the club to get away from the police. Because you were waving an M16 in the parking lot.
Damn. Okay.
So, to answer your question, we have no beef. It's just the disrespect. And then you can run me my 50.
50, what you mean? Like a fade or?
No, my 50, no, fade. 50,000 he owed me. But I even let that go. Just don't disrespect me, nigga. Red Grant don't disrespect me. Red Grant's a nice dude. Red Grant's, you know. Mark Curry's like my brother.
It would be awesome to see that. Maybe y'all could just have that conversation.
I'm open for it, but I don't. He thinks he's above everything. He thinks he's the great.
He called himself the greatest comedian alive.
Exactly. That's you know how loony that gotta be. To say I'm the
What's wrong
greatest.
with a comedian? But you are a comedian. You can't feel that way, or you?
The greatest comedian alive with one joke. He has one joke. I'm a pimp down. That's it. What has he said that was great? Tell me what was he. Tell me something he's done that's great, and I'm agree with you.
Okay.
Yes.
A Katt Williams bit that is great. I think he's got quite a few.
Okay.
When he talked about taking his son to the dollar store, he could make a pimp decision. He was like,
Went back to the pimp show.
okay,
Back in the pimps.
which part about Mike?
Bring bitches over my house.
That was great. How about your bar is pretty low? You ever heard of Richard Pryor?
Of course.
That's fucking great. You ever heard of Bill Cosby? Have you seen that?
Yeah, himself.
That's great. What he's doing is marginalized. Like, yeah, nigga, that's bar, nigga, okay. It's not great to me. It's like, okay, it's cool. I get it. That's like saying, how do you put this in terms you understand? Tim Dog is a great rapper because he's the first one to say fuck Compton. Or name a rapper you like.
Nipsey.
Nipsey is Nipsey great?
He's good, but
See?
yeah.
See? And Nipsey's dope as fuck.
But we like him as a person.
We love Nipsey. See, as him, he could be my son. You know what I'm saying? I know that kid.
Mm-hmm.
I know that kid right there. And everything he's saying is real spit. You see what I'm saying? Nipsey over Tupac.
What you saying, Nipsey? You pick Nipsey.
No, I'm saying, are you saying Nipsey's greater than Tupac?
No. In terms of what, lyricism?
as an artist.
So the full package. Dang, man. I only would say I feel compelled because I lived in Nipsey's era, so I don't have that strong tie with Pac, but Pac I feel inspired Nipsey. So I will give it the
Damn sure did. But you know the difference is? Nipsey lived that shit.
I heard that too. That talking about the business and like really doing it.
Yeah, Pac was profound in his writing and dope, and he going through. You know, Nipsey was right there in the middle of the bullshit.
Right.
So, and look, both, you know, that's a whole new conversation. But I would never say that's like what makes Katt Williams great.
He's very witty. I think he's very witty. He's done some roast on Wild 'N Out. People used to love him on there. He did a roast of Wanda Smith that was recent. That kind of like people like him.
I think you guys like him.
Okay. Who are you guys?
You guys, your era. But there's nobody in Iceland fucking with him. There's nobody in Canada fucking with him. You'll say he's great over Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart can tour this world.
Because I think, and that's been an ongoing beef.
It ain't no beef. It's true. It's like,
yeah.
it's how is it a beef when a motherfucker get on a plane, sell out in Australia, saying the same shit he does here, but if you can't sell them pimp jokes in Australia, then guess what? You're a one-trick pony.
I think people like Katt over Kevin because of just the authenticity that they connect to.
So you think Katt is a real pimp?
Not a real pimp. I think it's just more so his conversations is relatable to our culture.
Exactly, which is bullshit. Your culture is bullshit. Your culture is built on bullshit. Your culture thinks Jay-Z's so dope. I know the niggas that sell dope. I know what a dope nigga look like. He don't look like Jay-Z. He don't even speak the language of it. But he's heard it. He's overheard it from niggas he fucked with. You know what I'm saying? He's overheard it. Oh, that's how? You want to know how to listen to Master P, Ghetto D. That nigga's so dope. Listen, that's my favorite rapper of all time is Master P.
Okay. In terms of lyrics or just overall?
Overall,
Master. Like overall, because he did it.
Master P had white folks calling him Master.
I never thought about that.
I know. Because y'all looking at the bullshit. That's how smart this nigga is. His name is Master P. You got to call him, white folks got to call him Master when they write a check. He's getting big checks. Master P, who would I make this check? It's $90 million check out to Master P.
What kind of student were you with? Your IQ was up there?
I wasn't dumb. I remember getting kicked out of school because they wanted me to do a report on roots and how roots parallels our family. We ain't got shit to do with roots. I was like, are you having white kids against Star Wars? Fuck you mean roots? How that roots? Ain't none of my family from Africa. Roots? What do you mean? You don't. Me and the teacher got into it. I'm like, how you gonna? I'm like, black people hate hearing this shit. I'm like, where the boats? You said, what you're telling me is a white man got off a boat, went in Africa, walked past lions, walked past snakes, met these black people. They had a conversation. See, you guys are missing all this. They had a conversation. How they gonna talk? They don't know this. They gonna chop this motherfucker head off. They don't know this motherfucker. So they start talking English. So you need niggas? You need some black people?
What are you saying like slavery didn't exist?
I'm saying slavery existed, but you ain't from Africa. There's no white man took a boat from Africa and floated it over here. You can't cross the Atlantic when you want to. Right now, you can't cross the Atlantic when you want to. Planes can't cross the Atlantic when they want to. Hear about planes just disappearing? That's over the Atlantic. They just, I don't know what the fuck happens over it. It's the most treacherous waters in the world. You can't just get in a boat with no instruments, a wooden boat, and cross the Atlantic. And another thing is they never mentioned of any white people dying on the cruise, on the crusade. It's only black people.
So, I mean, I know about the conversation of some of us already being here before the Europeans came to America.
Yeah. You think Columbus never came here? Did you know that? You didn't know that, did you?
And what do you mean?
Columbus never came to America, ever.
He landed in the...
No, he landed in Puerto Rico. He never came to America. And he was calling this motherfucker India and all this shit. But he never came here. Never set foot. You know how America was named after a photographer from Germany? That's where the name America came from. A photographer from Germany came in and called it America. None of these people with bridges and shit ever came to this bitch. That's what I'm saying. Your history, all your history. Did OJ kill those people? See, look.
I don't know. I was not there.
What does the history say?
The history says no. He wasn't found guilty.
Right, but everybody else says he did it.
Yeah.
But he was found not guilty. But that's not what the history gonna say. History gonna say OJ.
Did it?
If you ask any white person, in the time he served in jail, it was like,
right.
but that's what I'm saying. They have the pen, so they're writing your history. But you guys don't choose to look at this bullshit that they're giving you. It's bullshit that they're giving you. It's bullshit.
So what happened? So we was already here, and they came.
You can't believe it. See, in your mind, you can't even believe that you're already here. Because
I could see that. I know about the what's it called? The Nicas. The you see like that the face stone structures in like parts of Mexico.
oh, you mean in you got me saying it wrong. Is it Aztecas? And it's God damn it, because there's pyramids
Right.
in Mexico and in Belize. You ever been to Belize?
No.
There's pyramids there too. You know what's also there? Natives look like you.
Mm-hmm.
You ever been to Brazil?
No sir. And we out there.
You ever been to Australia?
Nope.
You ever heard of Aborigine?
Yep.
You ever heard of what's the Watusi in
And I think I was trying to speak of the Olmec.
yes. But in you talking is it Australia? There's a country right next to Australia. New Zealand.
Right.
The black New Zealanders?
Right. Aren't they like banned and all that weird stuff?
What do you mean banned?
Like there was like I feel like there was like some segregation going on with them.
They black.
Yeah.
The white folks take them over there?
No. So, in that, why do you think they did it? Why do you think white folks lied about?
Why do you lie about everything else? It's power. It's power. If I tell you that I got you from Africa and I brought you here, I'm now what? You're what?
Master or
Oppressor.
yeah.
We already know you made black people do all this work for free, right? Raped and pillaged, right? But ain't nobody ever apologized to you? Has anybody ever really apologized to the black community? You know the Japanese got what they call a bunch of money. I think it was in the 80s or the 90s. Did you know that?
No, for the World War II
Yeah. And for them being held captive in California and all that.
internment camps.
Yeah. That's never been done for black America.
Right, reparations.
Reparations.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Last point. This is kind of new. What's happening currently? You familiar with Kevin Samuels?
Kevin Samuels, no.
He's a gentleman that gives a lot of dating advice.
What makes you think you that dude?
Yeah, like what's your just curious? What's your thoughts about him in terms of his content?
I think he's telling those girls the truth. I mean, but you know, it's a little bit.
Like, why is he winning? Like, why does it work?
What I think it's the truth according to him. Like, why do you think you deserve
A high value man.
Why do you think it's like? I thought it was. I come from the old school where people used to just fall in love, whatever.
Okay.
But now it's. I remember some girls called me and said I was fat. I was like, really? Really? I'm fat. But that's the thing now. You can't be fat.
Okay.
You have to be this with the muscles, and that gets me to in my head like, well, what if I'm an asshole and I'm skinny? Am I cool? But I'm muscles, so I can be an asshole as long as I'm skinny. But I'm fat. I can't be an asshole. I have to, I have to, But as long as I'm skinny, I can be an asshole.
Right.
As long as I look a look. Now, what does that sound like?
Non-genuine love.
That just sounds like some,
Man.
if I have a certain amount of money, I can date this person. But shit, I might as well buy the pussy then. If I gotta have a certain amount of money to date this person, because I've seen people with $100 million get left and they go fuck the nigga with no money. How about that one? You see the girl that's married to $100 million nigga, got everything she want, every shoe, every purse, but she's in an apartment sucking this nigga's dick who don't have a bus pass. Now where you at? Now where you at? So, is it the biggest dick wins? I think that's what it is. The biggest dick wins.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you up anymore.
This nigga looking like Andre 3000. Like, hey now.
Mr. Faizon Love, thank you for your first one-on-one with Carly Hack. So many more topics we can touch on, and I hope we have you back soon.
All good, man.
Thank you very much.
You have me and Katt Williams back. Hey, Katt, I love you too, man. It's just a misunderstanding.
Thank you very much. Cool. That's a wrap.